time to tune in. Reno got the stats and the info. Rockin' with Flim and B Bather, that's my kinfolk. We got everything you need and some more. Reporting live with the sports. It's time for Uproar, 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 Uproar,
What's up? What's up? What's up? We are live as always in the 1912 studios here in lovely Nashville, Tennessee. As always, I'm your host, Reno Thompson, alongside my brothers. We got Big Kurt, number 30, in the building tonight with us. As always, he's our basketball analyst. We got none other than Flim himself, man. We're gonna cover all things TSU versus Iowa State. We're gonna touch a little bit on what we've seen so far in this March Madness and what that could mean for a 15 seed or a bottom seed team like a Tennessee State and what we've seen so far today, man. But before you do anything else, do us a quick favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Always stay locked in with the boys, man. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff to cover for you all tonight. But most of all, what we want to really make sure you get over for the next hour, man. Like I said, we're about to go all the way in. We're talking these key players, some winning formulas, some strategic pressure points. You know, we're gonna get into the real path. If Tennessee State wants to score the country. I'm sorry, if Tennessee State wants to scare this country tomorrow afternoon, man. You know, like I said, we're gonna get into it, man. So Curtis, Flim, what's going on, fellas?
Hey man, we're doing good over here, man. You can address me now officially as the other number 30. The real number 30 is in St. Louis getting ready for this tournament, man. So he's about to turn up and do some big things, man.
Yeah, so, man.
Officially the other number 30 right now.
Okay, Flim. Real quick, Flim. Have you with this weather breaking in Nashville? You know, are we gonna hit the lake real quick before we watch these Tigers do their thing tomorrow?
Well, man, listen. I wasn't feeling good last week, so I didn't get my hair cut. So I got a haircut appointment at 11:30.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do some yard work early tomorrow. Get the weed and feed out from the last show. Ballard gave me some tips to get that. And so by 11:30, I should be out of shop by 12:15. I'm gonna go to my destination, get set up, and get ready for this game for tomorrow. But the thing I want to ask before we get deep into this is, Reno, where the hell did you get that clapping noise from?
Hey man, this is we got the big crowd around here in the Thompson virtual studio over here.
Oh,
man. It's about 40,000 people over here, man.
Okay.
It's wall to wall.
You live over there tonight.
Yeah,
okay.
Man. It's
that man over there, Thompson Bowling Arena over there, man.
Yeah, man. Over there. Hey, it is. It's 40,000 people over here, man. Like I said, it's crazy over here, man. I gotta come pull up, man. But yeah, what's man. Up? Let's get into it, man. Let's start with Tennessee State, man, because I don't want this conversation, to be framed like, hey, we're just happy to be here and all this kind of stuff, right? This team won 23 games, right? Won the OVC convincingly regular season and even more convincingly in the tournament. So, we're talking about a team that scored, 80.5 points a game, 38 rebounds a game, 9 steals a game, right? And turnovers were down a lot, right? So, and and the teams that they've been playing they've been forcing more turnovers, on that end, man. So, Kurt, man, I'm gonna go to you on this first, man. Especially from what we've seen today so far in these matchups, what makes TSU dangerous beyond just the usual small school with some confidence, man, and that whole, traditional storyline?
Well, number one, we have terrific guard play. And as long as you have terrific guard play, you have a chance in the NCAA tournament. As you're seeing today, you have a lot of teams who don't have a lot of experience, including the bigger name schools. Their school may have been going to the tournament every year, but the players who are coming in, they're brand new. They don't have any NCAA tournament experience. And you're seeing that. You saw that today with Duke and Duke struggled early. Matter of fact, they were down double digits early, and they battled back, and they finally caught their wind and turned it up defensively. But for us, we can come in with dominant guard play, and we can speed up the pace. And as long as we can speed up the pace and make sure that we're staying within ourselves and not trying to get out of our bodies, and we can play an up-tempo game, we got a great chance to pull off this win against Iowa State. Because I'm not going to say it's an upset anymore. We can actually win this basketball game.
Blim.
Oh yeah, man. I'm very confident. I've been watching what's been how Coach Smith has been kind of handling this situation and talking about not being a Cinderella and having a swag and expectation for his guys to go out there and play Tennessee State basketball. But we come in with some advantages and people don't want to talk about them, but we are. We got some grown men playing basketball out there that have been playing basketball for a very long time. These are 4 and 5 and 6 year guys that have been playing basketball. And we got 5 guys on that team that scored 20 points this year. You know what I mean? We got 4 of them on the court at all times. So that's Lord, that's Harper, that's Harris, and that's Nkrumah. So, if they are, thinking that we're going to come as a little school from Nashville, Tennessee that just want to go to St. Louis,
Yeah.
they must forget that we are in Nashville. We are the big city. So we not, this ain't no big lights for us. We just been waiting for everything to get together and finally give us a break. And so now I have told all my friends, I'm saying, all my buddies, and I got a lot of buddies down in Mississippi. I got a couple of partners that up at the sport book right now. And I said, listen, if you want to shock the world, you want to win some money, you put your money on Tennessee State tomorrow at 150.
Let's do it, man. And hey, man, we got our other member just joining us in now as well too. Bather, Coach Bather, talk to us, man. How you feeling today, real quick, man?
Put your money on blue, Coach. Put your money on that blue. You trying to roll crap, whatever. Put it on there.
Hey, what he say in Friday Night Lights? You want to win, put Booby in. Let Booby spin, man. So hey, put your money on there. So Bather, real quick, man. We opened up the show, and we phrased it like this. This is not a game of we're not gonna talk about this like Tennessee State is just happy to be here and it's the typical Cinderella storylines and they just a small school with some confidence right now. It's bigger than that.
Right.
So just tell us. And with that being said, if you've had a chance to catch any of the games today, what do you see is going to make Tennessee State dangerous tomorrow versus their matchup against Iowa State?
I just think, like you said, that mindset of understanding that, hey, we coming to get it. I don't know if you guys got to check out Duke almost blow it, but hey, anything can happen, and we coming, to shut those wings down. We're gonna get those bigs in foul trouble early. We're gonna get to the free throw line, and we coming for the throat, Coach. Coming for the throat. It's nothing to be excited about if you just get there. You feel me? You want to go dancing. We're not standing on the wall, Flim. I need that dance. Hey, I'm going to get that. You know what I'm saying? I need to get that dance in the club. You know how it goes. Reno, we're not just standing on the wall.
Definitely.
Hey, the thing is, like what you talking about, Bather? I think it's gonna be a shock for Iowa State to see how much swagger our kids are gonna come on the basketball court. I think we usually start the game real fast. There's normally some kind of set play back cut where we dunk the basketball.
I remember that's what I was about to say. Curtis Davis, y'all used to throw the hoop first play of the game.
Yeah, so I believe there's going to be a message sent, and I'm hearing that our allotment of tickets were sold, so that means that was like 400 or 500 people going to be there. I still haven't got confirmation about the AOB, but we can be a pretty raucous crowd. When things get to rolling and people get to feeling good, and they got a rooftop situation starting at 10:30 in St. Louis tomorrow. So I'm telling you, man, I'm really
What's the schedule for tomorrow? What you doing? What's the plan? We going live all day? What we doing?
All day.
That's how the streamers doing it. They going live all day.
I love y'all, but we gonna watch this game. This ain't happening in 32 years. They didn't let us in this club, man.
Man. Good deal. So tell me this, Curtis, man, and I want to start you on this, man. For tomorrow, if you can rank these in order of most important to second, third area for TSU tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. Shot making, rebounding, defensive pressure.
Rebounding.
Okay, rebounding one.
Rebounding one because they're just the bigger ball club.
I agree.
So we're gonna have to rebound, and it can't just be bigs. It's got to be collectively. Everybody got to get in there and fight for those long threes, and also get in and help our bigs rebound. So rebounding, number one. Two is going to be defensively. Have to make sure that we defend, and the defensive possession doesn't end until you get a rebound. So we got to make sure that we defend and defend well. And then also we're going to have to make shots, and we can't just make shots early in the game. We got to make timely shots. There's going to be a time that this team is going to make a run once we get up, and we're going to have to again take that punch in the mouth and respond to it. And usually how you respond is somebody has to hit a big shot in order to settle the team down and stop that run from the other team, so we can stop that bleeding. So those three in that order there. We got to rebound and then we got to have to be able to make timely shots and shoot the basketball well.
Baz, I'm gonna go to you, man. How would you rank it as far as shot making, rebounding, defensive pressure? As we think about Tennessee State and being their best version for tomorrow's matchup.
I think Curtis, my brother Curtis over there got a big rebounding. I'm with it, but rebounding and defensive kind of go together in my book. So defensively, I just think we got to turn that pressure up, and I think that we got to be long, get some some tips early on in the possession, some deflections, take some charges, some steals, you know what I'm saying. I think that defense is going to show up because, like you said, Flynn, they're going to be surprised. But I think that defensive pressure is what's going to surprise them. They're going to realize they can't just beat us off the dribble. If we do get beat off the dribble, the help is going to be there. We're long, and then physical. I don't think we're backing down for nobody physically. So I think it's going to be a barn burner, diving on the court, one shining moment type of game.
Yeah. Flim?
Yeah. So
you agree with that order as well, or you got a different order?
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna piggyback on Curtis. So yeah, timely shot making. All that is definitely, Curtis knows more basketball, or forgot more basketball than I even know. So I'm not going to never challenge what he's saying. But I do want to remind him this team has caught fire because their defense has turned into offense. Yeah. And so, our team is a good 5 guys, crash the board team. You know what I mean? The guards, Nkrumah gets in there, Harris gets in there. When the ball is in, is loose, everybody's going for it. But what really has turned the fire up for this team is how suffocating they've been defensively.
Was I on mute? I think I was on mute when I was talking with him.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I agree with you. I was just
Yeah, so that's the thing. They have a smallish point guard like Harris. Harris, is normally used to playing a guy a little bit bigger than him, and he gets underneath and just becomes a pest the whole game. And I think Harris, just if you just take the body language from the tournament, especially the championship game when he just came out there and just took over the game, I think Harris is going to spearhead this onslaught right away, because I think time that other point guard gets on the court, he's going to be public enemy number 1 for him. So that defense is what I want to see. I just want to see swarming, hands in the passing lane, tip ball. But that's why I'm a little bit afraid of how that game's going to be officiated. I know we're going to talk about that. But to me, if we come out there and play that Tennessee State defense we've been playing the last, 2 months of the season, we're just going to wreak havoc on that team, because they want to play big and, kind of slow, because they're going to have a size advantage. But, I know, Nolan Smith is not going to let that team play that way, because he knows his advantage is not to play slow. His advantage is to speed it up, time that ball goes into the hoop and through the nets. He's going to be throwing that ball up the side, and they're going to be coming up the court relentlessly, coming at this team and testing their willpower, stamina, and want to. Because I think this team that we have in Nashville, the TSU Tigers, are something different, and it's really showed the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, for me, I was thinking more of, I want defensive pressure being the first one, because I think regardless of, to me, the defensive pressure is going to set up what we've had a lot of easy buckets. I believe the defensive pressure should put us in position to get rebounds as well too. Because when your energy is high on defense, you're really active. Though you're on your toes a lot, and you're very, very aware. So I would for me, I would just rank it as, I want to see defensive pressure one, with the rebounding, and then, and the only reason I'm saying shot making as a third is because I'm just of the belief that we're going to make shots. And my thing is, if I believe that we're going to make shots, then I need to I'm going to say defensive pressure, because there's going to come time where we got to make stops. Sienna was in position and they were fighting back a little bit, right? Duke started to run, and then Sienna answers, right? So it's like you got to be able to answer, but you also got to be able to make some stops, man. So I'm that's where my head is on it. So
What
I
you
mean,
think about adjustments? How are we? How do you think, Coach Davis? How do you think we are as far as adjusting through the season?
We've adjusted well. Like I say, our defense finally matched our offensive energy. But when you get into the tournament, it gets a little different. Like tomorrow, I'm watching for little subtle things. Like I think that Joshua Jefferson is going to be trapping our our backcourt guys anytime his man comes up and
Write
said,
that down, Reno. Write that down.
I am.
role, because he has the ability to be able to recover on defense extremely well. So that's something we're gonna have to look at. It's gonna be those little nuances, and they're gonna say, "Hey, we know you guys have a great backcourt, and these guys can really play on the perimeter. We're gonna make your bigs uncomfortable things of their nature, and we can and make them see if they can step up. So watch out for little subtle things like that tomorrow.
Yeah.
He better not be out there trying to trap nobody. He
Yeah.
lost his damn mind. It is no advantage. And so, excuse me being a whole high school coach, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying, you're college. I mean, the last thing I want to do is get into a helter-skelter game when we're having to recover with a team like Tennessee State. My advantage is that we're bigger. You know what I mean? Supposedly we're better athletically. We want to play a half-court game. We don't want to be doing all that stuff fooling around with them boys, man. Because them open shots.
Hey, no, you got to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I get it. Off of our bigs, and they're going to be forcing our bigs to make plays, something our bigs don't do, which is going to be uncommon for them. They're not going to speed the game up. They're just going to make sure it's going to half court game. We're going to trap you. We're going to trap you in the half court once you come off your best player. Because we use that a lot in our game plan. Now, bigs, I need you to step out and hit a 15-footer now. You haven't been doing
elbow jumper. Yeah.
Now I need you coming off that pick and roll, going to the basket and making a play. Something our bigs haven't been asked to do all year. So those are little nuances and things that we're going to have to watch for. They're not going to full court pressers, but in the half court game, that's when they're going to try to trap, get the ball, get the ball out of Aaron's hand, get the ball out of Harper's hand, get the ball out of Dante's hand. Now these bigs make a play now. So those are things we're going to have to watch for.
Yeah.
We talk officiating yet, Reno? Are we
not yet, man? You know, we about to roll into some of these key players, man. So for me, man, let's put these names to it, man. If Tennessee State is gonna do this with a real chance, it starts with these key core guys, man. Aaron Akruma, 17.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 3 assists per game, almost 3 steals per game.
And he overseas player of the year too.
Yeah, man. From the line, he's still shooting a solid number from the line. I mean, 78.9%, solid number. But I think when it's down the stretch, he's probably, if you just look at his numbers down the stretch from the charity stripe, he's probably shooting closer to 85. So, that's still good to go there. Travis Harper, he's 17.3 points a game. He's 40% from 3. 85% from the line, 4.3 rebounds. So he's a key one. And obviously Dante Harrison, what he's been able to do down the stretch of the season and tournament, 4.5 assists, his 2.34 assists to turnover ratio, 1.7 steals. Obviously Petrie, Lorick, those boys doing what they do, man. So, I mean, those are some of the stats that I was able to pull out and go there. So Curtis, man, who's the most important TSU player tomorrow? And we're not talking the best player. We know who our best player is. He may not be the most important player to your eyes, but who's the most important one?
Yeah. But believe it or not, I know people want to say is Aaron, but I think Aaron and their leading scorer, Milan, and don't get me to pronounce his last name, Marcelo Popovich, they're going to cancel each other out. Our point guard play is going to be important, but I really think Williams off the bench. We're gonna have to get some scoring off the bench. If we don't get a good game from Williams, we're not going to have a chance, because we talked about this earlier. Our bigs are going to be at a size advantage, but Williams has the experience, and he can step out and hit a 15-footer. He can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket. So when they do try to trap off of our wings, that's the guy who's going to be very important for us. So I know not a lot of people are thinking about Williams in that manner, but I think he's going to be the most important person for us on tomorrow.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is like his stat line is beyond, what you can actually track and measure. It's beyond that.
What I'm looking for him to do is to get Iowa State out of that game plan of trying to trap our guys on the perimeter and half court offense.
Okay.
Once he started making some shots and can open that thing up, then it's got to go back to one-on-one, and that's when I think we'll have the advantage. And then Dante, Aaron, and Harper are going to get back to doing what they were normally doing. But Williams is going to be key. He's going to have to be able to make some plays in order to get them out of that trapping defense, because this Iowa State team is a really good basketball team. I mean, we can't sit here and poo-poo that they should have won the tournament because they should have beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Let's not act like this isn't a good basketball and a well-coached basketball team that's big, long, athletic, and they got big bodies. So we're going to have to play well, but Williams, I think, is going to be the key tomorrow.
Gotcha. Hey, Flim, talk to me about Harper, right? And, thinking that this early in the game tomorrow and Harper gets a few, clean catch and shoot looks early, what are your expectations from what this should do to change the tone of this game early?
Well, just kind of piggybacking on Curtis and also answering your question. I kind of thought in my mind, and I thought about Williams, and when you started talking about them trapping, and people never talk about Lord, but he's had several games where he scored 20 points. So he gets a lot of easy baskets and do some things. He's kind of crafty when it comes to it. So I kind of thought to myself, for my three bigs, which is Williams, Petrie, and Lord, if they can give us 20-20 between the three, right, collectively, 20-20, which 20 points, and 20 rebounds. I mean, that cancels out what we perceive currently as a deficiency or a weak point with our team, which we don't know until they get on the court. But what we knew though is that we got three guys in that backcourt that's gonna freaking get off, and they will get off, and we're just concerned because we're so used to the backcourt, having 20-20 and getting off. But man, listen, we are a beast on the offensive rebounds. I mean, you look up Petrie. He averages 3 offensive rebounds a game. You know what I'm saying? So, he's sneaky with it. He's a big body. He gets into a little foul trouble because he does. He gets a little physical. And but man, I just say that with Harper, which is a microwave. If Nkrumah starts shooting that thing and kind of leaning, turning his body to the side while he's in the air, and shooting those threes. And he gets to doing that thing. But the big thing is, the big thing to me was Harris in the championship game went ballistic at 3.
Yeah, he did.
You was sitting there like, wait a minute. We scored 54 points in 20 minutes in the first half of the conference game. And it was all spearheaded by Harris. So, hey, I'm feeling good, man. I'm around here talking cash. I might be the only person in the country I'm an underdog, 24.5 points. I'm looking at matchup predictor. I got a 1.7 chance to win, and I'm sitting over here beating on my chest like the King Kong.
Yeah. I tell you, man, I'm rolling with Harris. And it goes back.
I'm tripping.
It just goes down to it goes back to what I said from the jump, man, from what I was taught about March Madness basketball, of guard play being the true bottom line of a successful team and a successful run. And what Harris has been doing this last 14, 15 days. He's just trending the right way. He's just trending the right way. So I'm rolling with him, and I'm believing of him that if when things are potentially not in our control, that I'm believing that he'll find a way to get us back sound, get us back in rhythm and doing things we need to do offensively, man. So
Yeah,
that's who
he
I'm
big
rolling with. I'm
play.
rolling with Harris.
He big play Tay, man.
Yeah,
This guy has been playing game for 6 years. I mean, he played in Madison Square Arena. I mean, Garden. I mean,
hmm
he was the freshman of the Big East Player of the Year as a freshman. I
yeah,
mean, ain't nothing getting ready to shake him, man. And
at
he's
all,
starting to
man.
look like one of them people that you don't want to see in the alley.
Yeah,
He's starting to get one of them stares and looks
yeah,
at you like because you saw him after the press conference and you saw him talk. He ain't got too much to say. He like,
no,
shit, I want
no.
to play some more basketball.
So okay, so with that being said,
I,
so I,
I,
I got a little debate here, a little
Okay.
debate prompt that I thought about. So, and I'm just thinking about our true key players at this point now. Would you rather bet on Nkrumah's all around game or Harper's shot making as the thing that gives TSU the puncher's chance?
I would think I wouldn't, because you never know. Shots don't always fall, bro, early. Sometimes that they be rimming out, like layups roll off. Like you kind of got to build that momentum up. Get some easy ones, get some run some sets, get some back cuts, some layups. But I just think that those three guys, I think they about to shine, bro.
Yeah.
I think they understand what's at stake. I think this is a chance for them to get that NBA, that look, that real look.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, damn, this is, last one we had was Rob Covington. You feel me? Like, he didn't get to play on this stage.
Yeah.
We might have had two more coming off of that team if they got that exposure. You feel me? I think these three guys are gonna, show that they belong and get some good film and just it's gonna work out, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you treat the game right, the game treats you right. And you can tell these guys they've been treating the game right, protecting the ball, taking good shots, in the gym late, in the gym early. I think it's gonna show up, bro. I just got that feeling. Maybe I'm a home teamer. Maybe I'm, 9-0 Reno football season,
But no, but so tell me this, Curtis. Choose you. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Like choose one that you're gonna, who you gonna bet on. Is it Nkrumah's all around game or is it Harper's shot making as what gives TSU, the real puncher's chance between those two?
You're gonna ask me. You're gonna ask another number 30 about a number.
I am.
30. Come on now. Don't do that. No, seriously though, it's gonna be Nkrumah because he can affect every aspect of the box score.
Yeah.
Rebounds.
Even if he's not scoring, which believe it or not, in the championship game, y'all know he only had 14 points, but it seemed like he had 40 because he was everywhere. He was affecting on the defensive and the offensive end. So his all-around play, because if he goes out here tomorrow and don't let that matchup with Milan be just a one-on-one thing, where he goes out there and he plays them in street way and keeps them below his average, it's a win for us. So I think his all-around play, because just like we're game planning for Jefferson and Milan, their leading scorer, who are they game planning for?
Right.
They game planning for Aaron.
If they're smart, yeah.
Because the fact of it is that they know if they can take Aaron out of the game and force somebody else to score, then they have a better chance of winning. So I will always go with Aaron because whether he's scoring or not, he's always their most important person.
Gotcha. Flim, where you at with it?
There's no doubt it's Aaron.
Yeah.
Because Aaron is going to spearhead the defense. And, we talked about the matchup with the 2 point guards. But, Coach Smith might get crafty and put Aaron on their point guard from the beginning and just smother them. You know what I'm saying? Just get them out of their sets and get them, to start their sets way away from where they're normally used to running those sets. And then put Dante, on someone that's not a point guard or the next guard or the 2 guard. But when you got a guy like Aaron Nkrumah who averaged 3 steals a game, A lot of people thought that he should have been the OVC defensive player of the season as well. Just not that he should have got both because he is so disruptive defensively. He gets you so far out of your offensive sets where you have to account for him. And if it's on ball pressure, off ball pressure, shooting passes lanes, he's a guy that you always got to pay attention to. And then that a defense is always going to be there. Then don't let him heat up because then now it's just you got a whole tsunami going on. So I think it's definitely Aaron. It's the game changer.
Do you think he starts at like most schools in the country?
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, I don't see why a guy that's 6'6" and has that type of defensive prowess. Number one, he gets to shoot more here because we're a mid major. He might not get as many shots and he can't freelance as much. But when you sit there and can lock up people, we've seen Aaron lock up. The UT Martin team that was supposed to be unstoppable with pro players that had came over from overseas. I mean, he just shut them down. And when we played UNLV, that's a big school. He went out there and shut them down. Aaron had tied the season record for steals in one game with 9 in one game this year. He literally had 9 steals in one game.
So I said that to say we got one of the top players in the country right now on the team. You see what I'm saying? If you look at it that way, we got big name guys going into the tournament. Like anything could happen. Yeah. So that's why I'm feeling like feeling.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Prairie View last night, and they was just smothering on defense. Now, of course, they didn't play Iowa State. You know what I'm saying? But the style of play was very similar. Their defense, fed the offense. And, that's why I said my key to the game is defense, Tennessee State's defense, which took Tennessee State to the top 3 or 4 in the conference to the last 5 games. Undoubtedly the best team in the conference, winning by 18 points. And on average, it was the defense that just, flicked the switch and made us different. So,
yeah. Good deal, man. Like I said, man, let's flip this a little bit. We got on the other side. Look at what Iowa State got going on. As Curtis said, this team is elite. They're top tier. 27-7 was their record this year under Coach Otts, man. We saw what they did last year. This is their 5th straight year in the tournament. So, they're coming in with everything you expect of a team of their caliber, from experience of making the travel, understanding what practice and flow is going to be like. And, my prep before the game, like this is what they do, man. And, their stats here's their team stats real quick. 81, a little under 82 points a game. Their opponents, they're allowing their opponents to only score 65 points a game on average. They shoot 49% from field goal. They're at 35 rebounds per game, a little under us. So far this year, they've had a total of 349 steals, so a lot. Opponents have committed 519 turnovers against them. So, as we say that, Iowa State's identity is pressure without panic. They just don't defend hard. They clearly defend together, because again, you can't get that many forced turnovers without defending together. Right. So they shrink the space a lot, force bad decisions. Defensively, they can score through multiple guys. Offensively, they can score through multiple guys. So Curtis, man, what's the hardest thing about playing Iowa State when you haven't seen this level of physicality every week?
That's the thing. Can you adjust to the physicality and get them in a up and down style? Now, they can play that style, but we can get those bigs going up and down the court, then that leads to our advantage. But this is a really good basketball team. They've played well all season. They play in a very tough conference with some very talented players in that conference. They have played extremely well all year. They've been ranked in the top 10 pretty much all year. So we have a healthy task on our hands here. Now, we can step up to the challenge, but the biggest thing is that we can't let their unknowns become stars during this game. They have a freshman that's starting at their two guard. We can't let him become a
Yeah,
star.
we gotta wear him out.
Yeah, we got to put him in uncomfortable positions
Yeah, he gotta.
as as a freshman. We can't let their two. They got two footers back there. They got two 7-footers back there. We can't let them control the boards and out rebound us, giving them second, third, fourth chances because we can't keep them off the boards. When we go to a zone defense, we're going to have to make sure we group rebound because this team rebounds the ball extremely well. So we got to handle those big bodies, which I believe that we can. But this is not a slouch here. If we're going to beat this team, we're going to beat a good basketball team.
Yeah. Agreed there, man. Flim,
Mhm.
this is my thoughts. I believe Iowa State is dangerous because, and this is just in the short time of me doing what reading I could on them, watching what highlights across the internet I could on them. They seem dangerous because they don't ever seem to feel like they're out of structure, you know. So, um, what are your thoughts on that about what makes Iowa State dangerous? Is it talent, or would you be on the side of me from what you've been able to see of that they just don't ever seem out of structure?
Yeah, well, they're a world coach basketball team, and they're a big time power program. What the thing is, they lost 7 games this year, and the trend that I saw with their losses, when they lose real bad. I mean, they
Mm,
get like beat real bad, like by 20. And so you got to kind of think to yourself, a team that talented, I'm sitting here looking at it now. They lost to Kansas. They was the number 2 team in the country. That game was on 113. Kansas was not, very good at the time. I already had 5 losses. They go to Kansas and get beat by 20.
mm,
Okay, they were the number 2 team in the country and get beat by 20 to a Kansas team. And then you go to the next loss. They played BYU, which has been a pretty good ranked team all year, and they got beat by 10. Okay, and so and you look at the other loss. It was another loss that stood out to me. Oh, Texas Tech.
mm,
They lost by 9. And so then there was another loss they had that stood out to me, and they got beat by 20. And so you look and you be like, wait a minute now, what's going on with this team? Are they a team? Oh, Arizona, they lost the first time they played,
mm,
so they lost by 16. So this is a team that can they deal with adversity? A team
mm.
that
Good
good.
question.
You know what I'm
Good
saying? If you
question.
hit them in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson say, everybody got to play until you hit them in the mouth. And so
Yeah.
if they do they have that type of will to win? If they get hit in the mouth, will it get adversity strikes as Coach LC Cole would say? Then we'll know who you really are.
Yeah.
So it's a 27-17. This should everybody thinks has an opportunity to go to the Final Four. There's a lot of people have picked them to go a long way in the tournament, but it's troubling when you see these losses when they lose. It's not
Yeah.
like, of course, the last game they played was a tight game in the conference championship. So if I'm a coach, I'm saying, look, we can ready to try to jump on them and just startle them, just get
Yeah.
them out of their game plan, blitz them. We like to do a lot of blitzing on pick and roll. I like that with Coach Smith. You know what I'm saying? Make it frantic, make it fast, make them get out of rhythm
The
and then
passes got to be on point. Yeah.
out of character and kind of roll with that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Flim, you're so right with that. I looked at the box score in that game. Their top 2 players. You look at Jefferson. That man went 2 for 17, had 12 points, 0 of 5 from the 3. You look at Milan Marchilovic. He's their leading scorer. He went 2 of 8, 1 of 5 from 3 for 5 points. So you saw Arizona put pressure on their 2 leading scorers, and you saw what happened. They have no response because nobody else can score the basketball in bunches like those 2
That they
there.
could. That they.
You're right on point when you're talking about getting those guys out of their stores.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Balder, on to you. My thoughts and my question for you is, um, for Iowa State, you know, if they're looking good and they're rolling against us, what do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be because they forced us to turn the ball over? Is it just body blows from being able to find a way to beat us up with their footers? Or is it just their balance? scoring punch. What do you see if Iowa State is rolling good against us? What do you see what's number one reason you see it that happening for them?
Being Coach B Ballard, if things get out of hand early, I always tend, for the coach to take the blame. You feel me? If it's something that we may not have done or something that we might have got out of scheme, I always kind of try to put it on the coach. I say that to say, I think that, Coach Nolan is gonna do a great job. I think they're prepared. I think they're locked in. I think this is his chance to, kind of get his stuff off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think this is the moment he's been waiting on. And, we want to keep him around as long as possible. But first round upset, he's going to be getting a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be wanting to try to take him from Tennessee State. And, just this coaching staff versus, like Flem said, a well-coached team. It's going to come down to which coaching staff is able to get the edge, to find the keys. And if they do get out on us, they might know something we don't know that we may not have been adjusted to.
Gotcha.
I think this coaching staff is looking for this opportunity. Like, hey, we're not about to get out, coach. Our boys gonna hold it down. And when it's time for the staff to put that, that extra wrinkle in, it may be that, that one inbounds play, that one, half court trap that forces a layup. They put, it's always one little coaching moment where coaches are battling. You know what I'm saying? If you know the game, you get to see that. The average fan doesn't notice that. But if you're playing, you see coaches, they always adjusting.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm sure Nolan and Coach K had a Zoom call this week. So,
yes, definitely. We got the Coach K blueprint
for this week. So
yeah. I'm there, man. So as we look at this, man, now we got to look into these Iowa State key players, man. This is where the matchup gets real for me. Iowa State doesn't need one guy to go for 30. They can beat you in layers. They're good at that. So, Milan Momcilovic, 17 points a game, 49% from 3. 49.
Where is he
49% from 3.
He's from Wisconsin.
He's from Wisconsin. Just call him Eminem. Milan.
Hey man, I'm trying to do my Stuart Scott, man. I want to make sure I pronounce these guys' names. So I studied the phonetic sounding.
Hey,
Milan.
You better call that man to figure out how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, man. Him, that's what he's doing. But again, 49% from 3. That is
put a hand up.
Huge,
you gotta put
man.
a hand up.
You look at Josh Jefferson, 16 points a game. Well, 17 points a game. He's really good. 29 blocks this year. Curtis, I believe that's a good number. And then what is this? Was this technically a 34 game season for them? So 29 blocks, so something like that. So he's
close to a block a game.
Yeah.
When you're speaking of that, one of the things that popped out of my mind when we're talking about Eminem is who is he going to defend? That's going to be very key, and that's going to be a question that's going to be needed to be answered. You put him on our best player in Aaron.
He can't guard him.
So, but then at the same time, you can't put him on Harper either because he's just not quick enough to guard him. So definitely ain't going to Dante. Let's just stop there before we even get there. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to see if Iowa State can hide. That's why I was talking about the trapping off of the ball picks and everything else, because I think he's going to need some help on the defensive end. But we'll see how that plays out tomorrow.
Are we deeper than them on the bench, Coach? You think, how does our bench match up with them?
They don't have a strong bench. They got some another footer that comes in that rebounds, set screens, and
big boy.
That type of deal. Their starters do the majority of their scoring. But after their 2 top players, after their top 3 players, everybody else is maybe coming in averaging 8, 7, those type of things. That's why I was saying earlier, we can't let one of those guys become a star where he scores, 20 points tomorrow or even double their average and give you 17, 18 points. So we got to be on alert for that. But I'm looking at that matchup on the defensive end with Eminem to see who is he going to guard tomorrow and try to hide him on the defensive end.
Yeah, good deal, man. Yeah, so there, like I said, you got Lipsy. He's 13 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 156 assists this year, 68 steals.
What is he, about 5 assists a game?
I believe so. About 156 assists. That's about 5 a game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Blake Buchanan. I mean, when you look them up, they got a bunch of guys who really contribute to their success of what they've done. But what I would go back to say is that with Milan, it's this. He's shooting 49% from 3, but that's probably telling me that his defense assignment has not been that tough all these games. It can't be. Because I don't think you got the legs like that to shoot 49% if you got some consistent tough defensive assignments.
When you've watched the tape on him, he's gonna guard their weakest perimeter player.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that in our starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the issue is going to be. That's why if we can take advantage of it on the perimeter end, get him out of his source where he has to play on the other end, because he has to play defense on the other end. And guess what? He got the legs to be shooting those threes. And when he talk about, because he's one of those guys who run off picks, he's a catch and shoot guy. So he's not one of them guys who, got an in-between game and taking things off of the bounce. So, like I said, we can make him work on that other end, and he doesn't have that lift in his legs. That's going to play right into our hands.
So Curtis, so who would be our toughest chess piece to figure out?
Oh, it's going to be Jefferson. Easy.
Okay,
that's easy. What's up, champ? But no, he
crying right now.
I got you.
Man, you got him dressed like he in South Central in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do my boy like that, man. You know,
with a white on and
he in a 50 Cent video. Don't do that, man.
My man. I love it.
But no, Jefferson is going to be our matchup that we're going to have to key in on. He's, if I was to look at it from the outside looking in, he's probably going to be the best player on the basketball floor tomorrow. He can stretch the floor. He's also a great passer out of the post. He can post. He's physical, and he rebounds well. So I can think he gets you like 8 boards a game. So the offense runs through him. And he's going to be a key player for them tomorrow. So we're going to have to have him under lock and key tomorrow. We know he's gonna score, and he may get his average, but we got to make it tough on him.
Gotcha.
So in the locker room, coach, old school, new school, are we sicking somebody on them, or that you can't say that no more? But y'all have a guy like, hey, we getting him out the game?
I mean, Petrie and Lipscomb, they know what their assignments are going to be tomorrow. And as long as they don't make it a one-on-one matchup and we still play as a team, but you understand what your assignment is, then I think we're going to be fine. Our post players know they're not going to get as many touches as he's going to get. So it's not going to be this back and forth where we're going to try to outscore them or stay on pace and score with them. They know their assignments out there to make it tough on him tomorrow and limit his touches, and then also make it tough on him to score. Because like I say, you saw it in the Arizona game in the box scores. Those 2 players, if we can just get them under control, especially if we can keep them under their average, we got a great chance of winning this basketball game tomorrow.
So when back in the day when you had 2 adages, when you had a horse that could play, with his back to the basket, you had 2 things, 2 strategies. Either you double teamed him every time he touched the ball quick, or
quick double down,
or you stay at home and say you score 40 tonight. Okay, but nobody else is scoring. We're not leaving any open shots. We're going to hedge a little bit, but we're going to not double team. We're just going to stick to our guys and not let them shoot the open 3. So what you think which one would you use, Curtis?
Well, I would use something totally different outside of that. We're great on the defensive end on the perimeter. Let's make it hard to get the ball into the post.
So front the post. You front the post, right?
We're gonna give them different looks. We're gonna front sometimes we're gonna play behind, but we're gonna depend on our perimeters to make it hard on their perimeter
Post
people
entry,
to get
right?
the post
Yeah.
entry to get the ball into the post. That's where our advantage is, and we got to take advantage of that. So now, if we can make it hard for them to get the ball on the inside, and then we can play in between, and if they do get the ball on the inside, and make it tough on them where they're thinking out there instead of just going out there naturally playing, we'll be fine. But I would lean more to my perimeter player, say, hey, look here, make it tough on them to get the ball into the post. And if we can
Ball
do
pressure.
that, yes, ball pressure. If we can
So
do that, we got a great shot of winning this game.
so question then for you, Curtis. So with Milan and clearly again he shot 49% from three this year, so
Mhm.
he's going to look for the three. So my question is, um, you know, to keep him from getting a rhythm early, in this matchup, and defending the three, what is your coaching point on, especially for him on defending the three? Is it, hey, he gets the ball, I need to make sure I'm already in him already, and then make him put that ball on the ground, and then see if he's willing to drive and do mid range pull up or try to go to the hole, or what's your coaching points on him and his three ball?
I'm going to get up in him and make him put the ball on the floor and show me that he can get to the rim, that he can get to a mid range game. But another thing we also got to factor in is it going to be some cross switching with the matchups
Okay.
on the offensive and defensive end? And if that's the case, can you locate him in transition? Because he gets a lot of his threes off of catch and shoot because Lipsy, their point guard, pushes the ball up the floor, pitches ahead, gets him a wide open three. So we gotta put all that stuff into the fray and understand that just because you like say if they're cross matching and if you went in for a layup, you got to make sure that you get back, or the other player got to locate him in transition.
And just not to cut anything off, but this is breaking news right now. We're live. And it's for all the people who think that we're just talking crazy, that HBCUs don't have a chance. Right now, with 3 minutes left in the first half, the score is Michigan 40, Howard 34.
Mm.
I mean, good basketball is good back. Basketball has changed. If you saw the Siena game and Duke, if
Yeah.
they had one bench player, Siena would have won that game that they had beat Duke. They just needed one bench player. They had guys that went for 40.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
40
Hey,
minutes.
Howard. Okay, Howard. Hey, Jew.
Yeah.
Good deal, man. So with that being said, man, let's get into this whiteboard. We got the markers out, the chalks out. Curtis, man. How each team wins, and let's get to the real stuff of this stuff, man. How does each team actually win this basketball game, and most importantly, Tennessee State for this formula. So for me, I looked at it like this: surviving the turnover battle. With TSU averaging 12 turnovers a game, while Iowa State forces this chaos with its pressure and live ball defense. If TSU gets sloppy, the game can get away fast. And now I don't anticipate that in no shape, form, or fashion. They have not shown me that they got the potential to play sloppy. But it's like that's the first thing for me, because that's where Iowa State lives.
I mean, the biggest thing with tomorrow is first thing that I think that we're going to have to see, and we'll see it in the first 5 to 10 minutes, are which team is going to have nerves coming out. Are we going to have any rust from the layover that we've had? Because it's been about a week and a half, almost really 2 weeks since we've played in a real basketball game. So, what type of layover are we going to have there? The big key for us is can we make it a style of basketball that we play? Can we use our strength on the perimeter to speed the game up? If they want to trap us and force the pace, can we knock down those open threes? Because we got snipers out there that can do that. For them, if they control the boards and they're getting second, third, fourth chances, we're going to be in trouble all night. If you see early where we have to go to zone because we've gotten in foul trouble, watch for that. That's going to be a key for us as well. We got to be able to guard them on the perimeter. In order to do that, we got to be able to be man to man in order to make sure we put that pressure on them.
Yeah. Flim, I'm on to you, man. So the other one I put up there for a formula was guard scoring has to be efficient. I really believe guard scoring needs to be efficient for Tennessee State, man. So from the Nkrumah, Harper, finding ways to score cleanly. I think those real shots going to need to be made. Obviously, scoring from deep, getting to the charity stripe, that free throw line, and doing what we've been doing these last 15 days, 20 days of shooting high free throw numbers, getting people in foul trouble, man. So that's where I am on guard play. And the other one I had out there was just winning enough of the rebound battle. Staying alive in it. Like, if we get 35 rebounds, they get 38. I think that's still good. Although again, numbers serve me correctly. I think we still average more rebounds a game than they do.
We do.
So yeah, man. So it's just like just staying true to that. And that's what I had down right there as well too for us on that winning formula.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about free throws, and I know we grind it down. But if they foul us and send us to the free throw line, they're in trouble. We're going to shoot 80%. We're going to shoot 80%. We're going to hit 4 out of 5 free throws. We are the number one free throw shooting team in the OVC in percentage wise. I mean, We are a excellent free throw shooting team, and so that kind of leads to my last point of the night. If they let us play and we don't stay out of, we don't get into foul trouble,
Hmm.
because I know we're going to try to speed the game up.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching a lot of the games today, and they've let them play. They know it's the tournament. They let them play. If they let us play and we hold them under 70, we'll be playing on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
I,
be playing on Sunday.
I tell you this. So for Iowa State, this is the three things I put down for the winning formula for them. So it's like if they are allowed to do this, I said, if they can force us to play late clock offense, as the shot clock is winding down, I said, okay, boom, that's a potential problem for us right there. If they're able to wear us down, right? I mean, we see that a lot of times with the higher seeded team, especially a team like them that has multiple people scoring around that 15 to 18 range. If they wear us down, and then 5 years in, right? 5 straight years and a top seed at that as well too. 5 straight years. So that tournament level physicality that happens, something like that may be the keys for them, man. And I'm just looking forward to us. We have the right coaches that have been in this from a player standpoint. So I want to believe that level of it, that tournament level physicality, doesn't shock. So we shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, one other stat to look at tomorrow, when you're looking at it, Iowa State averages about 17 assists a game. We average about 13 assists a game, but we both average around 81 points a game, both teams. So it's telling me that they are more dependent upon sets and their point guard getting into the paint and getting them and setting them up for their shots. Where which 13 assists is pretty good, but we get more of our stuff off of the one-on-one and off of the bounce. So let's look at that stat tomorrow to see how that kind of evens out.
All right, we'll do, man. Well, look here, man. We're about up on it. For me, as we close out, however this plays out, you already know what it is, man. It's TSU, man. We got this thing, rolling. We talked through a lot of what ifs, but at the end of the day, uproar. We already know where we stand on this, right? It is. We know where we reside on this thing, man. It's big blue for me, man. Easy. Let's get
All
this
the
win.
fans are here.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
with that being said, tomorrow.
Got these things on for nothing, man. We can't.
Oh yeah, the ring.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, tomorrow,
We're gonna be live, man. We're gonna be live.
150 Central on CBS. We're gonna find out that Tennessee State is here to stay. March Madness basketball, pressure, opportunity, one shot, make this country pay attention to Tennessee State again for something else that's positive out here. We don't need to give our picks. You know where we at, y'all. Don't ask us. All right.
Put your
We
money
here.
up.
We here, man. This is Uproar Radio.
There you go. Drop
All
the
right,
beat.
fellas.
All right.